your local station. CBS Sports welcomes you to Arrowhead Stadium for an interconference matchup between two teams so similar in style, the New Orleans Saints and the Kansas City Chiefs. NFC versus AFC today. And good afternoon, everybody. I'm Jim Nance, along with the coach, Hank Stram. We've got a good one for you today. Two teams that won their openers a week ago. Hank, you coached both the Saints and Chiefs during your outstanding career. Let's first talk about Kansas City, a team you're very high on.
Kansas City, I think, is an outstanding football team. I think everybody around the country is talking about the Buffalo Bills and the Super Bowl. My pick is Kansas City. I think Kansas City will be in a Super Bowl this year.
How about the New Orleans Saints? This was a playoff team last year.
I like the New Orleans Saints. I predicted before the season that they would win the West. I still think they will win the West, and I think they will have a great season. And once they get in the playoffs, anything can happen. I think it's important to note that the team seems to rally around Bobby Hebert. They're glad to have him back, and they think he'll add the dimension that they missed last year.
All right, Hank, the Saints won the toss, and they will receive. The last time the Chiefs and Saints squared off was 6 years ago today at the Superdome. And the Chiefs won that opener that year. Bobby Morris is deep for New Orleans. So is Quinn Early. Nick Lowry puts the foot into it. Morse from the one. Out to the 21-yard line, a 20-yard run back for Bobby Morse. Todd McNair, just activated today, made the special teams tackle, number 48. Here comes Bobby Hebert, 2 touchdowns and 2 interceptions last week, but led the Saints to a come-from-behind victory against the Seattle Seahawks. Now, the interesting thing to spot on this offensive front for New Orleans is Brad Leggett, the center, who will start today in place of Joel Hilgenberg, who has dressed but has a banged-up ankle and will be playing sparingly. Hilliard in the backfield along with Hayward. On first down, they go to Ironhead Hayward, and he moves into the pile for only about a yard. Dan Saliamua, the outstanding nose tackle, makes the first hit on him, and there's that defensive line for Kansas City. Neil Smith, a New Orleans native, at one end, along with Bill Moss. Saliamua, here's the linebacking core. Derek Thomas, of course, led the league in sacks a year ago. J.C. Pearson starts today for Albert Lewis, who is inactive with a knee injury. 6 defensive backs in for the Chiefs. 2nd and 9 for New Orleans. Hebert with time in the pocket. Flings it across the middle, incomplete at the 30-yard line. Intended for Eric Martin. And Hank, that matchup now, Leggett against Saliamua, is one to watch today.
Yeah, that's a real snootful for Leggett, the young center. Now he's on Saliamua right now, and he's doing a good job with him. He gets a good piece, and he gets some help from the right guard. But started off very well against this great nose man of the Kansas City Chiefs.
Hebert had good protection, but now he faces 3rd and 9. 4 receivers in for New Orleans, including Turner and Alfin. Finnerty flanking Hebert. From the gun, there's the rifle pass. Early has it for the first down out to the 39-yard line. Quinn Early. And they picked on Stan Petrie, a backup defensive back, a gain of 14 for the Saints. And there's Bobby Hebert, who's gone through all kinds of emotions here in the last few weeks, Hank.
Yeah, he really has. You know, he's got a lot of heat from people all over the country, and he's been introduced in New Orleans and had some problems there. But the fans there in New Orleans are fantastic fans. They really are. They're very emotionally involved with their football team. They care an awful lot. And as a result, I think that really the team has rallied around Bobby Hebert, and I think he's going to do a great job.
1st and 10 for the Saints. 3 receivers set. In the pocket, Martin across the middle. Martin dragging his way out to the 45-yard line. And now 59 straight games, Eric Martin has caught a pass. A gain of 7. There's Jim Mora in his 6th year as the coach of the New Orleans Saints. This is the first time he has faced Kansas City, and it's the last NFL team to face Mora in a regular season game. Marty Schottenheimer, of course, on the other side, his 3rd year for Kansas City. 2nd down, we'll call it 3 for the Saints. Hilliard to midfield, and then 1st down for New Orleans. Neil Smith wrapped them up, but Hilliard picks up the 1st, and Dalton Hilliard has some strained knee ligaments, same knee that forced him to miss 10 games last year, but a different ligament, and he's in there, Hank.
Yes, and talking to Mora yesterday, he said that Hilliard had his best week of practice in a long time, and they're excited about the fact that he is well, and I'm sure that he's going to, if anybody's going to do well, he'll do well this afternoon.
He picked up 5 on that play. 2 tight ends for the Saints. Brenner and Tice. On 1st down, Hebert hit Tice. Couple of good moves to get by defenders, and inside the 40, Markham at the 37 of Kansas City. Another Saints 1st down. J.C. Pearson and Kevin Ross on the tackle.
Here we see a shot from the quarterback position, looking at the quarterback on defense. And here again, Bobby does a terrific job of getting the ball away very quickly to the tight end. No hesitation. He reads the coverage and gets it to him right away, and that's why he's so tough to get to and hard to sack.
Brenner gets set on the right side. Hayward and Hilliard behind Hebert. Now Hayward comes out in motion. 1st down. Right side, Martin has it. Inside the 30 and about a yard shy of the 1st. Saints impressive here on the opening drive. Again, they picked on J.C. Pearson, filling in today for Albert Lewis, the Pro Bowler, who had 3 interceptions last week. Did Lewis against Atlanta, but he got his knee banged up on that last INT against the Falcons.
And what happened on the play, they sent a man in motion. They flooded the left area. There was one-on-one on Pearson on the right side. He knew exactly where he was going to throw the ball and got it to him right where it had to be thrown.
And you saw Albert Lewis in street clothes on the sideline for Kansas City. That was a 9-yard gain, setting up 2nd and 1. That's Hayward on a wing to the right. Hilliard in the backfield. Lead blocked by Hayward. Hilliard now looks like he has the 1st at the 27-yard line. Now last week, in a Chiefs 14-3 victory against Atlanta, the Falcons drove the football all the way downfield on their 1st possession, but 2 goal line stops by the Chiefs forced the Falcons into a field goal, and Atlanta really never moved the ball the rest of the way.
They actually moved the ball well on the ground. I think if you're going to move the ball against the Kansas City Chiefs, the one thing you got to do, you got to be able to stick it at them, you got to run at it.
1st down again, 9th play of the opening drive for New Orleans. Hilliard scampers to about the 24. Gain of about 4 for Dalton.
That time they had a middle blitz, and anytime you blitz in the middle, if you can cave everybody into the inside and kick somebody out, you got a chance for a big play. They didn't clean it out totally, but there was enough of a crack there for Hilliard to get bounced through there and pick up yardage on the play.
Let's give them 3 yards on the play. There's that Kansas City defense, and we're zooming in on Dan Saliamua. Here's the Saints drive so far, chewing up 6 minutes. Kansas City has not touched the football to this point. 2nd down and 7. Hilliard right side this time, chased down by Derek Thomas.
That was a delay play that time, a counter play with the guard and tackle pulling on the left side. You better put a helmet on Thomas for the backside. He's so quick and so fast, he'll catch things for the backside, and there you see him catching them from behind. And a fantastic job by Thomas. Wasn't blocked on the play.
3rd and 6. 4 receivers in for the Saints. Gil Finnerty caught a touchdown last week. He is flanking Hebert out of the shotgun. Crowd on its feet. Hebert going toward the end zone, and he led his receiver a bit too much. Intended for Eric Martin.
They had Martin double cover that time, and I think in critical situations, that's who they want to throw the ball to. They want to throw the ball to Martin. He's in the slot. There you see him go right by. He's getting help from Cherry from the inside, but the ball was thrown just a little bit too long, or else they'd have changed the scoreboard on that pass.
Hank, the Saints will try a field goal. With Hilgenberg out, Brad Leggett will snap it on the placement. That's something to watch today. John Tice will be the snapper on punts. Let's see if this is clean. Back to Barnhart. 40-yard attempt. Everything worked just right for the Saints, and an opening field goal for New Orleans. Anderson nails it from 40 yards. Midway, first quarter, the Chiefs will get the ball for the first time. And as you check it out, watch number 98, Leonard Griffin, land on Saliamua. Saliamua reaching high into the air. And then you see 98 fall on him. And now he's on his feet. Very popular player here in Kansas City. Bobby Hebert was 4 out of 6 on that drive for New Orleans, and he hit 4 different receivers with his 4 completions.
It's hard to rush him when he's getting rid of the ball as quickly as he did on that drive, and that's what they like to do. It's a ball control, kind of a passing offense, and nobody does it better than the Saints when they're hot and they have protection.
Morton Anderson puts it upright at the 35-yard line. Now this is a stat we'll be updating throughout the day. We've got the first and third all-time field goal percentage leaders. Morton Anderson just barely behind Pittsburgh's Gary Anderson. Morton's kick comes to rookie Harvey Williams, who fumbles it into the end zone. And he falls on it for a touchback. They'll bring it out to the 20. Steve DeBerg, what a sensational year he had last year. Look at that, about 6-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio. Set records, in fact, for only 4 interceptions in a season.
And I think the key to their success this year, a lot of people feel, Jim, will be whether or not he can have the same kind of a year he had last year. I think it's going to be very difficult for him to do that.
He says he has the best offensive line in football. Here's the backs and receivers. Bill Jones starts along with Okoye. Jones on a wing. Football coming to Okoye. No, good fake by DeBerg right away, and intended for Holohan, and a bit overthrown on that one. Steve DeBerg is so outstanding with his ball handling. And faked me out on that one, Hank. Here's the defensive line for the Saints. Wayne Martin, Wilkes, and Warren. Best linebacking core in football. Ricky Jackson, Sam Mills, who had 13 tackles last week. Vaughn Johnson's back. And Pat Swilling. Saints secondary. Now here's 2nd and 10 for the Chiefs with 3 receivers in the game. Okoye for about a yard is all. Wayne Martin on the tackle. Thanks, Steve DeBerg. How about this man at age 37?
You know, the great thing about Steve, he's a student of the game. He looks at more films and studies more about coverages and what he has to do, I think, than probably any quarterback in the National Football League. He's done this throughout his career at San Francisco, Denver, Tampa, and now here, but he's never had the same supporting cast that he's got right here in Kansas City, and that's why he enjoyed such great success last year.
3 receivers to the right. Shotgun time. Todd McNair is in the backfield on 3rd and 8. DeBerg, left side, incomplete. J.J. Burden was the intended receiver, and the Chiefs will have to punt. 3 downs and out for Kansas City. Brian Barker will punt it away. The snap comes from Frank Winters. Back deep to receive for New Orleans is Vince Buck.
And DeBerg on that last pass, he had to throw from the pocket. He really feels more comfortable throwing play action than he does throwing from the pocket like he did so much with his earlier teams.
Says he only throws from the pocket about twice a game, Hank.
Yes, and a pregame warm-up occasionally, too.
If you count that, factor that one in. Good punt. Barker drives Buck back to the 27. Down the sideline. Excellent return to the 45. 51-yard punt. An 18-yard return. Gerald Alfin helped give him a block. The Saints will have the ball for the second time. Anderson with a 40-yard field goal for the Saints. 3-0 New Orleans. And Bobby Hebert, outstanding against the AFC in his career. He's never lost as a starting quarterback. 11-0. And how about the Saints record, for that matter, Hank, against the AFC?
Yeah, it's hard to believe that, isn't it? They've been fantastic.
15 of the last 17 times New Orleans has gone against the AFC, they've walked away with a victory. Tom Sims is in at nose tackle for Sally Amua, who we understand had the wind knocked out of him and should return. First down for New Orleans from its 45-yard line. Dalton Hilliard, again, good pursuit from Derek Thomas. No gain.
I tell you, they cannot run to the strong side. The mentality of that, Jim, is that they're trying to run away from Thomas, which makes a lot of sense, but they got to put somebody on Thomas from the backside because he's such a great chaser that he's going to catch it from the backside if there's any delay at all going to the strong side. You got to put a hat on him and make sure he's blocked on every play.
Derek Thomas, good buddies with Pat Swilling of the Saints. Two of them had dinner together last night. 2 tight end set for the Saints on second down and 10. Bring Hayward out in motion. Looking left side. Hebert quickly on the slant. Has Martin into Kansas City territory to the 42. And a New Orleans first down after a gain of 13.
They've got a good approach going into this game. The New Orleans Saints, a great game plan, and if they're throwing the ball quickly on time patterns, they like to do that anyhow, but they're avoiding the severe rush of the Kansas City Chiefs by throwing so quickly, and as a result, Thomas, who is such a great blitzer, gets there too late.
Well, the Saints allowed the second fewest number of sacks last year in the league, only giving up 20. But last week they yielded 4 in the opener against Seattle. First down, thumping it over. Complete to Hilliard, chased out by J.C. Pearson. Mark it at the 36, a gain of 6.
Here we see a good picture of Haverdink, number 74, the left tackle, blocking Thomas. Look at this. He tries to run a power blitz, and Haverdink does a terrific job of containing Thomas right on the line of scrimmage, gets the ball over the top of him, and completes the pass.
Haverdink suffered an unusual injury last week in that game against Seattle. He was stretching on the sidelines and got run over on a play. Suffered some back spasms.
He's got very long arms. They're almost down to his ankles.
Second down and 4. Movement early on the right side by Derek Kennard. That'll back up New Orleans 5. This is a good acquisition, though, however, for Jim Mora's team. Kennard coming over from Phoenix.
False start. Number 60 on the offense before the snap. First second down.
Red Caston is the referee today. Derek Kennard was a draft pick, and cornerback Robert Massey. He was a starter for the Cardinals a year ago. How do you like that acquisition for the Saints at right guard?
Oh, they made a very decisive move, I should say. And Denard, we did a lot of Phoenix games and Cardinal games. He not only can play guard, but he's a very versatile offensive lineman who can also occupy the center position. The only problem is that his arms are so short he can't get the ball back on the snaps. That's why they don't like him on the center position.
And he's not a shotgun snapper. Hilliard lined up as a receiver to the left side on second and 9. Hebert over the top. Martin has it. Another Saints first at the 29. This time Kevin Ross on the coverage. They pick up 13 with that one, Hank.
The pass blocking of the offensive line has been very exceptional so far, and Hebert seems to have an awful lot of confidence and poise. Gets back in the pocket. And of course, the two guys he loves to throw to, he'll look for Martin, 84, and if he's faded, he'll come right back and look for Hilliard.
Kennard was holding off Leonard Griffin, doing a good job of blocking on that pass play. First down for New Orleans. 3 receivers in the game. Pump fake left. Now rolling out. He'll dump it to Hilliard. Out of bounds at about the 20. Hit first by Tracy Simeon. 9 yards on that one. Saints just keep on moving.
And that's a great thing that people don't realize about Bobby Hebert is that he's not a great runner, but he has good escapability because he has a good feel for pressure and moves just enough to get rid of the football like he did on that last play. And as I mentioned, he gets in a jam. Why, he's going to look for Hilliard, and he got him that time and picked up more yardage on the play.
Some concern about Hebert, who sprained his shoulder against Seattle and did not throw the football at all on Wednesday or Thursday. But looking strong so far. Second and short, and Hayward has the first. Here's a guy who carried the football only twice last week, Hank. You think he should get it more?
Yes, I do. Of course, then by accident on occasions, why somebody gets hurt and they put him in, he runs for over 100 yards.
Yeah, he's had some 100-yard games in his
career.
career.
Yeah, he has, and then they put him. Then he's back in the backfield as a guard and does a terrific job. I don't think he's a better blocker in the league, and it's easy to understand why they do what they do. They just have so much confidence in his blocking ability for the other backs that he's playing that position and does a great job.
Slot formation to the left. First down, Saints. Hebert to Martin. Down at the 13 again, Simeon on the tackle. Having success short with Eric Martin.
And what they're doing, Jim, is the Chiefs normally like to play an awful lot of bump and run, man-for-man coverage. They're mixing it up quite a bit, using some zones. And the way the New Orleans Saints are throwing the ball, the pass patterns are good against either man-for-man or zone. So that's why they're having such good success. Look at all the room they got on the right side.
Second down and 6. 6 defensive backs in for the Chiefs.
Blitz.
Hebert dumps it off. Martin in the end zone. Did he hold on? Yes. Touchdown, New Orleans.
They were in a blitz, and there again, you have to give credit, an awful lot of credit to the offensive line. Watch this. Martin on Pearson makes an inside move, goes outside. A ball is thrown right over the top, and he just takes it away from Pearson. A great catch by Eric Martin.
Oh, right between the legs, Hank. What a catch by Eric Martin.
But you talk about a clutch guy, a guy that really makes big plays and does a terrific job for the Saints from a receiving standpoint, a guy that doesn't have fantastic speed, but he's got, he runs about a 4.5 40, but he's got 4 flat hands.
10-0. Eric Martin just tied Danny Abramowitz with his 37th touchdown in his career, the most by any receiver. Jim Nantz along with Hank Stram. The Kansas City defense, the first team defense, did not allow a touchdown during the preseason, or for that matter, last week against the Atlanta Falcons. But here the Saints move the football, and they lead 10-0. They've moved the football on both possessions. Big boomer by Anderson through the back of the end zone, and the Chiefs will again start from the 20.
And that's the other thing that's tough when you play against the Saints. If you have to receive the ball a lot during the course of the game, you're going to start from the 20-yard line and have to go 80 yards. It's a long haul.
Hank, why don't you diagram that 13-yard touchdown pass by the Saints?
Well, here the two safeties are blitzing, man-for-man coverage down here to Martin. And the great thing about it is that the pass protection was excellent. Bobby Hebert's decision was immediate. He gets the ball right up on top to Martin on Pearson, touchdown. Beautifully executed play overall. Pass protection, throwing the ball, catching the ball by the New Orleans Saints.
Harlem Globetrotter ball handling move by Eric Martin. Almost needed some sweet Georgia Brown to watch that touchdown again. Great move by Eric Martin for the score. Here's Kansas City on first down. Okoye for only a yard into the pile. A whole wall of defenders by the Saints.
I tell you, it's tough. It's tough to run against this New Orleans defense. That front seven is murder, and especially if you can keep Okaya from running straight ahead and make him run sideways, why then of course you got a great advantage. He does not do that very well.
Second down and 9, only a yard for Okoye. 4 receivers in the game. 38 seconds left in the first quarter. Up the middle, hit first by Swilling and out to about the 25. Now some booing at Arrowhead. Vaughn Johnson helped out on that tackle. Will be 3rd and 5 for the Chiefs.
See, the one thing about the Chiefs, they just feel so strongly in the running offense and also the play action passes that if they ever get behind by any kind of a large margin, it's very...
Number 77 on the offense, still second down.
And if they have to play catch-up football, they really have a tough time throwing the ball because they're so used to throwing play-action passes. And when you're behind, play-action passes go right out the window. You got to go back in the pocket and throw.
That was on Rich Baldinger, and the Saints take the penalty, backing up the Chiefs to the 11. We'll call it 2nd and 18 from the 12. Flags are down. Saints were offside, and incomplete intended for Todd McNair.
The Saints were blitzing right up the middle, put a lot of pressure.
Offsides against the Saints. Little jumpy here, Hank. Coming in early.
Yeah, here's a blitz coming.
Toy Cook was making the play on McNair. Cook had an interception last week. They spot the penalty.
Offside, left side of the defensive line. It was the last play of the first quarter. Kansas City has elected to extend by 1 down. It'll be second down.
So the Chiefs will play one more down here in the first quarter, one dominated by the Saints. Chiefs still looking to pick up their first down of the game.
And this is one thing, you know, you really, if you're committed to the run and the play action pass, you really have to be patient. You got to keep doing the same things. That's what they're going to do until they find out maybe when it's too late that they can't get it done.
3 receivers to the right side, including Stephon Page far to the right. 2nd and 13. The Bird goes down at the 9. Frank Warren and Swilling in on that sack. Saints had the football for 12 and a half minutes in the opening quarter with the score after 1. New Orleans 10, Kansas City nothing. Starting the second quarter, the Chiefs have it 3rd and 20 from the 10-yard line. Saints lead 10-0. The Birds' last sack, you got to give credit there also to Ricky Jackson, who got him by the ankle. Over to McNair, makes one move, but Toy Cook and Sam Mills finish him off at the 21. Punting time for the Chiefs. Still looking for their first down.
And Sam Mills being involved in that play, you talk about a guy that's a terrific inside linebacker. I don't think there's a better inside linebacker than Sam Mills. We'll talk about that story a little bit later, too, in the game.
Sam Mills was cut by the Cleveland Browns early in his career when Marty Schottenheimer was the defensive coordinator. Here's Barker's punt. Fair catch called by Buck at the 35. 45-yard punt. And coming up later today here on CBS, the U.S. Open men's final. Stefan Edberg looking for his first U.S. Open victory against American Jim Courier from Florida, who of course won the French Open earlier this year. Edberg and Courier for the men's title at the U.S. Open coming up later today. Hope you'll be with us. Pat Summerall, Tony Trabert, Mary Carrillo, and Tim Ryan. Dan Saliamua has returned to that defensive front, Hank, for the Chiefs. Chris Martin is out, however. Lonnie Martz replaces him. Hayward, the single back on first down. Hayward running off right tackle. Falls at the 40. A gain of 5 for Craig Hayward. Chris Martin took a hit to the head on the last series when the Saints had the ball, and it's questionable whether or not Martin, an outside linebacker, will return in this game.
And Hayward, you give him a little crack and get him out in the open, it's like trying to tackle a runaway dump truck. He's murdered.
Second and 5. He's the single back, is Hayward. 3 receivers for the Saints. Flags. Hebert from the pocket. Overthrows Floyd Turner. Kevin Porter was in the area for the INT for the Chiefs. Chiefs may have jumped. And they did. Neil Anderson, a touchdown for the Bears. Gary Anderson right back, and the Bucks lead by 3. Barry Sanders with a touchdown run for the Lions.
Offside, nose tackle on the defense. 5-yard penalty will leave about 2 inches for a first down.
Second and inches. You heard it from Red Cashin. What do you think the Saints do with this down, Hank?
Well, they'll probably blow it in there, bang it in there tough, but this is a very good time for a play-action pass to maybe possibly get a big play rather than just move the chains and get the first down. If they didn't, they still come back on third down and get the first down. But in all probability, the way they play, they probably will stick it in there and try to get the first down running. We'll see.
Martin's at the top of your screen. He's had 6 catches here in the first half and 1 touchdown. They do bang it in there. Hayward gets enough. Only a yard. First down for the Saints.
And how about this, Jim? New Orleans, 115 yards total offense. Kansas City -3.
The Saints have 9 first downs in the game. Kansas City 0.
And time of possession, New Orleans 12:27. Kansas City 2:33. Boy, is that dominating a game or what?
Hebert needs 8 yards passing to get 10,000 yards on his career. Would be the only the second Saint to do that. And he can get it. No! Martin tried to make another acrobatic catch.
A little bit high and a little bit behind up until that throw. Hebert was 6 for 6 on 1st and 10.
J.C. Pearson and Kevin Porter double teamed Eric Martin. You know, a win today by the Saints would give them something they have never had in 25 years in the NFL. That's a 2-0 start. Could be a franchise first with a victory today. Double tight end formation. Finnerty is the single back. Tice in motion, 2nd and 10. Finnerty tripped in the backfield by Neil Smith.
That was a counter play where they fake to the back, and the fullback tries to be a blocker. They're pulling across the formation, and number 90, Smith, see, he takes a step to the right, then goes back to the left side. In the meantime, Smith, number 90, who was from Metairie, Louisiana, I had a great visit with him yesterday. He's a terrific defensive end, and he really was looking forward to playing this game here this afternoon.
He went to McDonough 35 High School and then on to an All-America career at Nebraska. Now the crowd comes to life. Really, for the first time today, as the Saints face 3rd and 13. Blitzing. Hebert fumbles. Pearson has it. Pearson goes in for the touchdown.
Pearson.
Charles Washington stripped it free, but hold on a minute.
The whistle blows for delay of game before the stop. It'll be 5 yards and still 3rd down.
Take it off the board. A delay of game penalty that beat the snap, spoiling J.C. Pearson's heroics.
Evidently, they were trying. I think Hebert saw the blitz coming. Pearson was blitzing from the outside. He possibly might have tried to change the play, took too much time, and as a result, instead of having a touchdown for Kansas City, they still have possession of the ball. Talking about the New Orleans Saints.
3rd and 18 now. The delay penalty was against the Saints. And you know, really, if you watched Hebert's reaction on that play when he was running out of the pocket, he really wasn't running full speed. I think he may have heard the whistle all along.
Yeah, I think so, and I think he assumed it was going to be
that it was a dead play.
A cancel play, yeah.
Yes. Third and 18. Finnerty has it for only a 2-yard gain at the 40 as Neil Smith hammered Hebert after the throw.
But the Smith makes a good outside move and then inside, and then is quick enough to get to the outside. Saliamua is also there to make the play, but a great play by Smith, number 90.
Tommy Barnhart will punt for the first time. 45-yard average last week.
The one thing you have to do against both teams, you really got to do a good job of preparing to block the kicks.
Hilgenberg was the snapper, so Joel Hilgenberg did snap it. Good punt. Backing up Fred Jones. But look at him run. Out to the 32-yard line. Outkicked the coverage maybe on that one. 53-yard punt. 25-yard run back. Saints 10-0. Chiefs still looking for their initial first down. Nothing. And let's summarize the game to this point. Saints scoring on their first 2 possessions, a 40-yard field goal by Morton Anderson, and a 13-yard touchdown pass, Hebert to Eric Martin. Hebert is hot. John Tice was shaken up on the punt coverage for New Orleans. Chiefs will put the ball in play at the 32, their own 32. Come out with a 3-receiver formation and Okoye in the backfield. DeBerg was hit right when he released it by Jim Wilkes.
Wilkes, number 94, on the nose of the center. Watch him get penetration. So he gets rid of the center, gets rid of the blocking back, and gets right into the quarterback, right in his face. That's a great move by Wilkes, number 94. A double dipper, really, for him on the play.
Dave Zott is out of the game at left guard. Derek Graham has replaced him. 2nd and 10, Okoye. Maybe back to the line of scrimmage is all. Sam Mills and Ricky Jackson read the play.
That was that counter trap play again with the right guard pulling and the right tackle pulling. But by the time they got there, why, it was all stuffed. Defense of the New Orleans Saints really doing a fantastic job, just like everybody expected them to do. And I think Kansas City felt it was going to be very difficult to move the ball and run the ball against New Orleans, and they're finding that out to be a very true fact.
3rd and 10. Okoye only 4 yards on 3 carries. 6 defensive backs in for the Saints. Swilling comes in on DeBerg. He gets the pass away, almost intercepted. Rookie Reggie Jones made a diving attempt at it. Jones is one of only 2 rookies to make the Saints roster. Wesley Carroll the other. Good play by Jones, and Swilling put some heat on DeBerg for the 3rd straight time. All 3 times in this game, it's been 3 downs and out for the Chiefs. Spiraling punt by Barker. Buck has it at the 24. Shakes 1 tackle. And drives to the 35. 44-yard punt and 11-yard return. Will bring the Saints offense back on the field when we come back. City fans may be angry that J.C. Pearson fumble recovery for a touchdown was taken away because of a delay of game penalty that beat the play. Hank, watch what happened here. Watch Hebert's reaction, though.
Yeah, it's kind of he goes to the left. He doesn't have the ball tucked away very well, and I think it was because he thought that there was too much time and there was no play on the particular call. And that's why he acted like he did. He
was so casual, he knew it was a dead play. Here's Hayward, and Hayward for 6. Getting some work today, Craig Hayward, tackled by Deron Cherry.
He's like one of those demolition balls. He does a good job of knocking down the defense, I tell you that. That's the kind of a runner he is.
Cherry kind of shaken up a bit, but stays in the huddle. And Chris Martin has returned. We had heard he might not return. He's back in there, number 57. 2nd and 4. Hayward moving it for a 1st down to the 47.
Run that back. Run that back. Watch him move the pile.
Brad Leggett gave him a good block.
Watch Hayward. Watch the pile. Now watch the whole pile move backwards when he gets into the hole. Watch this. Watch everybody on their back now. Look at this. Watch them all move. He really gets through there in great shape. And he's a snootful, I'll tell you that.
He's the single back on 1st down for the Saints. There's a completion to Greg Scales, one of the tight ends for the Saints. Scales seeing some action with John Tice banged up at the moment. We hear Tice might return. Arrowhead Stadium, Kansas City. The Chiefs and the Saints, they've only played 1 time before here at Arrowhead, and that was back in Hank's tenure as the New Orleans Saints coach. And Hank, you came in here and got a victory for the Saints against the Chiefs.
Yeah, that was really a great win for us back in 1976. It was a lot of fun.
Down 4. Hayward finding a hole. And inside of the 40. Some good running by Craig Hayward. Hobie Brenner helped give him a block, too. 9 yards on the play.
You know, the great thing about him, as big as he is, watch the move he makes here. Now, look at the good feet. He's got very good feet. Look at this. Makes a move. Look at, he dances back in the inside, gets control, covers up the ball. Look at, they're trying to squeeze the ball out of there, but he maintains good possession of it and gets another chunky yardage on the play. I'll tell you, those defensive backs are going to conveniently fall down when he starts coming into their territory like they slip instead of trying to make a tackle on him.
1st down from the Chiefs' 39. Stay with the man who's hot. Flag thrown in there on the play as Hayward rumbled for about 8. Hank, there's a lot of similarities with these two teams as we see the penalties going against New Orleans. These teams so similar in style, and they both have a big back, Okoye and Hayward. But Hayward's probably a better runner to the outside, wouldn't you say?
Oh, he's personally.
Number 71 on the offense. Still 1st down.
I think Hayward is a better running back than Okoye because he can do more things. He's got good feet. He cuts better. The Okoye is great straight ahead, and he's so strong once he gets into the city. He weighs 260, but I guarantee you, Hayward is a better runner.
That holding penalty backs up the Saints to midfield. Actually, the Chiefs 49 will call it. 1st and 20. Over to Scales. Scales gets most of it back. And still doesn't go down. Finally forced out of bounds at about the 36. A gain of 13, and with the yardage on that play, Bobby Hebert passes 10,000 yards on his career for the Saints. Only the second quarterback in New Orleans history to make that figure. The other, of course, Archie Manning, who finished with over 21,000 yards passing for the Saints. And there's Archie working the Game On radio.
Yeah, I had a good visit with him before the game. Spent a little time with him last night with my boys. He's terrific.
Fine gentleman. 2nd and 6. Hayward this time falls over the pile, and a flag was thrown in there also. Another holding call against the Saints. 5:34 remaining here in the second quarter with a 10-0 lead for New Orleans.
And the other thing about this game so far, Kansas City has not really had very good field position, and that's a compliment to the New Orleans Saints. They've stuffed them.
Holding during the run. Number 62 on the offense. Still 2nd down.
Well, next Sunday we have regional coverage coming your way on CBS. The Giants in Chicago. Remember, they met in the playoffs last year. Many will see that game. Some will watch Philadelphia at the Cowboys. Check your local listings. It all gets started at 12:30 Eastern Time, of course, with the NFL Today. So back up the Saints with the holding call. It's 2nd down and 16. Looking for Early. He has it at the 20, to the 10, and a touchdown for the Saints. Quinn Early. Hebert's 2nd touchdown pass of the game. 45 yards to Quinn Early as they beat number 45 of the Chiefs. Hank, take it away.
Yeah, Petrie on that corner. Short drop, gets rid of the ball quickly, good pass protection. And he's got him beat, no question. The ball is thrown outside of Petrie, so he has to go to the sideline. No chance to make the play whatsoever. A beautifully executed play and a quick strike for the New Orleans Saints against man-for-man coverage. I tell you, it's going to be very hard for Kansas City to get back in this game the way they play. They're going to have to revert to a pocket passing offensive scheme, and they don't do that very well.
17-0.
Okay, here we go on the outside. Look at bump and run on the bottom of the screen. He makes an inside move. He tries to get him a chuck, and he lost him at the line of scrimmage. And Early goes right by him, and the ball was thrown to the outside, which provided him with the opportunity to make the catch and go in. Had that ball been thrown inside, the defensive back, Petrie, might have had a chance to make the play.
Quinn Early's first touchdown as a Saint. 6-play drive, and it matches Early's longest pass play of his 4-year NFL career.
And the disheartening thing we're going to see right now is, regardless who the other team is, when you're playing New Orleans, Morton Anderson's going to pump the ball right through the end zone again, and again you got to start and go 80 yards.
Morton Anderson with that new $5,000 shoe to go with his $1 million leg. Quinn Early, the touchdown maker on that play, was picked up in the offseason as a Plan B free agent from San Diego. And there's the first-round pick of the Chiefs, Harvey Williams. Early's going to come over now and help out Morton Anderson. The breeze has knocked the ball off the tee a couple of times.
Either that or put a spike in the end of the ball and put it in there. That'll make it stick.
Anderson really puts it upright, much more so than the other kickers on the kickoffs.
And that's why he gets the flaps up so soon. So he gets underneath the ball and gets it up there high, and he's got such tremendous power.
Fight for it. It's Fred Jones on the run back. Grabbed by the jersey. A nice fighting run back by Jones, who is stopped by the Saints' Reggie Jones. "27-yard run back." Now Steve DeBerg, only 1-4 in his career against the Saints, and 1 for 5 passing thus far.
I wonder how much longer they're going to keep the sand in the ball before they put some air in it and pump it up.
I think it's about time to pump it up, Hank. Still looking for the first down of the game, the Chiefs. Harry Word is in the backfield. Here's DeBerg throwing, incomplete in the area of Stephon Page, but pressure applied by Robert Goff.
Pat Swilling, number 56, going to the outside on Alt. Look at him spin to the inside, but Alt does a good job of keeping him. Then he gets some help from the inside. The Swilling, you're not going to block him with one guy. You're going to have to get a little double dip on him, or else he's going to get penetration and get to the quarterback.
Watch him work on Alt here, number 56, Swilling. He says he thinks that he's a little off balance, Alt, and he can take advantage of it today. 2nd down and 10. Here he is, Swilling. Ball is batted into the air, incomplete. Again, Robert Goff was also putting pressure on the quarterback, along with Swilling. Goff got the hand on it.
Swilling looks like, that three-point stand, he looks like, and he has a speed rush. He looks like he's in the starting blocks. He gets off so quickly, and Alt really gets a pretty good angle on him, but look at how he gets down there good and low and persistently goes after the quarterback, gets him from the backside, hits the ball a little bit, and makes him throw a bad pass. Great rush by Pat Swilling, number 56.
And Ricky Jackson added his greeting as well to DeBerg. 3rd and 10 with 4:45 left in the half. Over to McNair, and he is wrapped up. Great play in the open field by Benny Thompson. Chiefs still without a first down.
And this what this does, it kind of takes you out of your personality. They're run, play action, and that's great if you have control of the ball. Talking about Kansas City, but the minute you take away the best thing that you do and have to revert back to something else like the pocket pass, they're in trouble.
Barker. Good kick away to Buck. Dancing around, Buck falling at the 34. One thing to keep in mind, Hank, the Chiefs in victory last week against Atlanta were shut out in the first half, and the Saints had a 17-0 lead one time on Seattle before falling behind and coming back to win.
Yeah, that's the thing you always have to put in the right perspective.
Time. Rodgers with the lead in the first. Atlanta and the Mets just starting. 1st and 10 for the Saints. Hayward takes it outside. Challenged by Kevin Ross, and Ross stood him up. Good job by Kevin Rock Ross.
Yeah, it was a good force by Kevin Ross, number 31, and got him right about the time he was trying to get upfield, got underneath the shoulder pad and knocked him out of bounds. I guarantee you Hayward would lose some of that weight in a hurry if he ran the ball 25 times a game.
They appear to be headed in that direction today, Hank. Working Hayward a lot here in this quarter. Look at that stat there. Total offense for the Saints. 200-yard edge. 2nd down and 12. Hebert with pressure, dumps it into the area of Hayward, incomplete. No grounding. Although the home crowd here wanted it. Leonard Griffin and Dan Saliamua coming in on Hebert on that play.
And Saliamua is really something in that he plays off the ball, the line of scrimmage a little bit. In spite of that, he's got such great quickness and reactionary ability that he still gets good penetration and does a great job.
Had the wind knocked out of him earlier back in the game. And back spasms acting up now for Kevin Haverdink. He is out at the moment, replaced by Richard Cooper at left tackle.
But as big as he is and as much wind as he has, you knock the wind out of him, it'd take about 3 days to get it done.
3rd and 12. And again, an early whistle to rule the play dead. And this time, Hebert says, hey, you take it, Red Cashin. Same situation, Hank, a delay of game penalty, and Hebert didn't want to get everybody stirred to a frenzy again, so he took the ball out of play in a hurry, didn't he?
Yep.
Delay of the game before the ball was snapped. Go down.
I thought this maybe was part of the play. This is the old option to red. Now you run with it. I thought, was it a flea flicker, Hank?
Yeah, it was a flea flicker to the referee.
He was supposed
the
to.
The referee showed me a little something. He caught the ball at least. He didn't get hit in the head with it.
I thought he might take off and run with it.
The other way, he'd have gone for the opposite end zone, I guarantee it, had he run.
Yeah, at Kansas City. Third and long, and Hebert rolling out of the pocket. Hits tight. He slips at the 36, and the Saints will punt.
I tell you, Hebert, they're getting a lot of pressure on him with a 4-man rush. But he sneaks up into the pocket and still gets rid of the football.
Chiefs have called a timeout here with 2:49 left in the second quarter. Saints leading 17-0. 2 touchdown passes by Bobby Hebert, 1 to Eric Martin, covering 13 yards and a 45-yard scoring toss to Quinn Early. Add on a 40-yard field goal by Morton Anderson, and that has Marty Schottenheimer feeling pretty lousy today. He's been trying to shake a sore throat here in the last couple of days.
Well, he'll have more than a sore throat if he doesn't get this team organized in the first half, at halftime. But this is a repeat of the way they played last week, and I asked him what he said at halftime. He told the guys, hey, listen, you're all mixed up. Preseason games are over. You're playing like it's a preseason game. He might have to tell him a little story about that again today.
Yeah, I think what you're saying is at halftime that throat will really be sore after he's finished.
That's right. He'll melt the wax in his ears, I guarantee, at halftime.
The 4th down for New Orleans. Barnhart, no pressure. It's the low spiral away to Fred Jones. Some good blocking for Jones. But taken down by Vince Buck at the 36, a 41-yard punt and a 14-yard run back.
What?
How about the pressure to wear 56, Hank? Pat Swilling was talking about that in a meeting with us last night. It was at a golf tournament with Chris Dolman of the Minnesota Vikings, and Dolman said, hey, Pat, you realize there's a lot of pressure when you put on number 56 on your back. Look at some of the guys around the league who don that jersey number.
Yeah, some great ones with Taylor, Swilling, Tippett. And they wear that number with a great, great deal of pride.
From the shotgun. The Bird has his man, Burden, into Saints territory for the first time today, and they'll move the chains for the first time as well. Now with 2:10 to go in the second quarter. Heading in the direction of Burden again, stopping the clock with 2:09. Reggie Jones on the coverage.
And DeBerg, talking to him yesterday about his passing personality, he said, I never did throw play-action passes till I got here, and I love it. And but he still remembers very vividly how to throw it from the pocket. He's still very good at that. Not as good as he used to, I don't think, but he still does a good job with it.
Slot formation to the left. McNair flanking DeBerg out of the gun on 2nd and 10. McNair in the open. McNair down to the 42-yard line. And that brings us to the 2-minute warning. Toy Cook on the tackle. The Chiefs will face 3rd and about 2.
2-minute warning.
On the other side of the 2-minute warning. Schottenheimer and the Chiefs moving the ball for the first time today. In the first half, and the Chiefs at the Saints' 42-yard line, facing 3rd and 3. Jim Wilkes has had a good game so far for the Saints at nose tackle, Hank.
He made a couple of great moves in that play in the end zone, close to the end zone.
Will stay in the shotgun on 3rd and short. Needing 3. DeBerg rifles it. Nice catch on the play by Emil Harry.
Looks like a flag on the play, however.
A gain of 10 as Harry jumped high in the air to bring it down. It's going against Kansas City.
Number 76 on the offense. Still 3rd down.
John Alt, who has been trying to somehow stave off Pat Swilling for the first 2 quarters, called for the holding. You know, one time in this half we mentioned the Saints' incredible record against the AFC. The Chiefs, for that matter, have won 7 straight of their own against the NFC. Third and 13. Incomplete. Reggie Jones had the coverage on Rob Thomas. This rookie here from Memphis State has made a couple of big plays in this game already. A 5th-round pick from Memphis State.
Yeah, every time you talk about him to the coaches, all they do is smile because they knew they got a good one. Surprise. He's done a terrific job.
This will be the 5th punt of the first half for Barker. At the 20 on the run back. Stacked at the 25. The Saints will have 1 minute 40 seconds to work with. 32-yard punt, trying to get it inside the 20. It only went to the 20-yard line. Of course, we've got the NFL Today, the Dockers NFL Today halftime report coming up. Greg and Terry will have scores and highlights. Get you updated on that Rams-Giants game, plus the U.S. Open update from Tim Ryan out at the Tennis Center as we get set for later today, Courier against Edberg on CBS. I guess Bobby Hebert's sprained shoulder isn't bothering him too much, Hank, huh?
No, and talking to him yesterday, it looked like, and he got the impression that he was a little concerned about it, but he hasn't expressed any kind of concern about it here this afternoon. He's really been outstanding, doing a great job.
15 of 19. There you see it. 2 touchdowns, no interceptions in this game. 3 receivers for the Saints. Pearson on Martin. Oh, is he sandwiched? Gain of 8 for Martin.
You know, people don't realize what a great job Bobby Hebert does of hitting the open guy. He reads the defense extremely well, and when they're uncovered, he's going to get the ball to the right guy, and especially, as I mentioned earlier, he loves to throw to Martin.
2nd and 2 with 1 minute 10 seconds left in the second quarter. They have all 3 timeouts remaining, and they may use one here as Hayward is stopped at the line of scrimmage by Sally Amua. Now they'll let the clock run.
Hayward never had a chance that time, never got a chance to get going at all. Sally Amua, number 97. He reminds me so much of our great nose man when we were here, Curly Culp.
It'll be a 40-second timeout.
Kansas City took a timeout now, seeing prospects of getting the football back before the half. The Saints will have third down coming up. Curly Culp, huh?
Yep. They both remind me an awful lot of Odd Job and 007, remember?
Of course. I know my James Bond history.
Yeah, that's right. The only thing that's missing is the Derby.
There you go. It's been just wonderful to see here the reaction in Kansas City the last 2 days to Hank Stram returning. And for Hank, he's back for the first time since his name was put up in the Chiefs Hall of Fame, and is listed here at Arrowhead Stadium along with the other Chief greats. There it is, Hank Stram, 60-74, took him to 2 Super Bowls and a victory on January the 11th, 1970. Dalton Hilliard returns. Third down and 3. Hilliard running, has the first across the 40 to the 41. Now the Saints will want to talk about some timeouts, and they take their
Timeout
first.
number 1 for New Orleans. It'll be a 40-second timeout.
That was that counterplay again that time, Jim, and Derek Kennard, number 60, the right guard, pulling to his left along with Stan Brock, pulling to their left, and did a good job of opening up a hole. And all Dalton needs is a little crack, just a crack, and he's going to pop right through there.
Tracy Simeon is the man down on the field. Simeon, one of the few players who made it on an NFL roster this fall after having played in the World League this spring. Played for the Montreal Machine. I want to mention, while we have a chance, some of the former players who have come by to see the coach. Buck Buchanan, E.J. Holland, Lynn Dawson's been here. Otis Taylor had a nice visit with you, Hank.
Ed Buddy was here. Talked to Bobby Bell yesterday. It's really been great fun. It really has. I talked to Arbanis yesterday, our great tight end. He didn't think he could make it today. He had something another commitment, but it was wonderful to talk to all of them, and great to see them looking so well.
Simeon comes to his feet. Well, that was actually Derek Thomas. I beg your pardon. That's a man for sure they want to see back on his feet in a hurry. Hank, an unusual situation to see a guy in the booth having coached both of the teams on the field.
Well, I guess it is unusual. I don't, but it's nice to be involved in things that happen for the first time.
Do you remember the trip here with the Saints?
Oh, I remember very, very vividly. In fact, after the game, why Chuck Muncie, Mr. Lightning, and Thunder, Tony Galbraith, they came across the field with a great big sign in front of the fans that day, and kind of rubbed it in a little bit. But other than that, it was a lot of fun.
Your office used to be behind that glass. Now Marty Schottenheimer works out of that office. 1st and 10 for the Saints. Under 40 seconds to go in the half. Pass thrown behind the intended target, Floyd Turner. Turner caught last week's game winner on a 4th down pass from Hebert to knock out the Seahawks. Derek Thomas has already returned to the Chiefs defense, set out only one play, so evidently just had the wind knocked out of him.
The defense of the Kansas City Chiefs, they took just a little bit a step behind on everything that they're doing. It doesn't look like they're playing with the great animation, enthusiasm that they played with in the past.
36 seconds left in the second quarter. 2nd and 10. Hebert hands it off to Hayward and out to the 48. Saints have 2 timeouts left.
Well, they're going to try to...
I'm surprised they're not using one here, Hank. They might be able to get it in range for Morton Anderson.
Yeah, that's what I thought. They'd be able
now
to negotiate it. Yeah.
Now they let about 10 seconds pass there, Hank.
Yep, they blew that, but I think
number 2.
they would have to try to negotiate the ball down a little bit closer to make sure they get a chance at a field goal.
Yeah, they need another, say 15 yards anyway. There's Morton Anderson. You know, the last time Morton Anderson was in Kansas City, yes, he was here before. He was here for a concert He's good friends with Nick Lowry, excellent kicker for Kansas City, and he came up to join Lowry at a concert here. The Who was performing. So far today, Bobby Hebert's been the pinball wizard for the Saints.
Yeah, he's been the lightning rod out here this afternoon. And he, you know, the other thing, talked about Lowry, I talked to him yesterday. He said he's gained about 15 pounds since 2 or 3 years ago, and he feels a lot stronger and kicking the ball better than ever.
You've never seen the Who in concert, Hank, I take it?
No, I haven't had, never had a chance to, and I probably will not have the chance either.
Just want to make sure. Third down play. Hebert's pass batted down and falls incomplete to the field. Neil Smith got a hand on it. And the man from New Orleans, Neil Smith, who grew up there, exchanging a few words with the Saints. Check out Neil on this play, Hank.
Yeah, wasn't he delightful to talk to yesterday? He really has a strong feeling for New Orleans, doesn't he? There he is. Control rush, gets the big paw up there, knocks the ball down.
11 seconds left in the half. Enough time to bring Tommy Barnhart out. And look out for the Chiefs. This team knows how to block punts. They set a record last year in the NFL with 6. An all-time single-season record.
Talked to Joe Marciano before the game. He said, we got to worry about blocking a kick.
Yep. Got it away. No one back deep as the Chiefs were rushing 11. And the Saints will down it to end the half. That will end the half. One outstanding half of football for the New Orleans Saints, who lead Kansas City by the score of 17-0. Out of the end zone. A flag on the field as he races to the 27. It was a 30-yard run back, but will be nullified by a penalty against the Chiefs return team. And another injured player for Kansas City.
And here again, Jim, you know, there's three ways to get involved in the game: offense, defense, and specialty teams. And really, if you win 2 out of the 3, you're going to win most games.
Number 54 of the receivers, that penalty is declined. Illegal block, number 55 of the receivers. It'll be half the distance to the goal and first down.
So they'll be backed up right away. You know, Harvey Williams was on that run back, and for all the fans down in Louisiana, they, of course, remember Harvey Williams from LSU. He was a first-round pick, the 21st pick overall by the Chiefs. And what did you think about that with the running backs they have? Word over 1,000 yards last year. Okoye has eclipsed that mark before. Why did they go Harvey Williams in the draft, Hank?
That kind of surprised me, too, although I think they wanted to get an all-purpose guy, a lightning guy who could come out of the backfield and be an outstanding receiver. The thing that I really don't understand, Jim, is we talked about the roster. They only are playing with 2 quarterbacks, and that's really a severe risk, especially when you have the opportunity to suit a quarterback up and use them only if you have to. That's kind of a surprising move on the part of the Kansas City Chiefs.
Brett Jones, the man shaken up, and now walking to the sidelines, and let's see what happened to him, how he was dazed on this play.
Brett Jones.
Now the little man tried to throw a block.
First down.
Threw his helmet in there and got the old noggin banged around a bit.
Yeah, you throw the schoolhouse in there and you're liable to get in trouble. That's what happens on that kind of a play.
And look at talking of trouble. The Chiefs are at the 7-yard line. 1st and 10 to start the 3rd quarter. All flags down again. Okoye had the carry out to the 10-yard line.
False start, moving before the snap, right side of the line, half the distance to the goal, still first down.
Now they're backed up inside of the 5. Hank, let's check you out yesterday at Arrowhead in the Chiefs practice.
You're working. You got work. Yeah, that's what you got to hear. You got to roll it up. Roll it up tight like that. And
Yeah,
walk
there you
the sidelines with it. Now.
That's right. There you are.
Exactly.
Ready to go.
Look. Just rub this right here. Get the feeling. Get the feeling. Get the feeling. You know what size you wear? No, what size I wear?
Rubbing the Super Bowl ring for good luck was Kevin Ross. 1st and 13. Okoye. First daylight at all that he's seen today, and it was about a 6-yard run, but another flag on the field. My gosh, they will be now at about the 2-yard line after they back this one up.
Boy, that's a frustrating feeling, standing over on the sideline when all these kind of things are happening to you, and you have to start a drive in the second half when you're down 17-0 in the soup like they are right now. It's tough.
Holding during the run. Number 79 on the offense. Half the distance to the goal. Still first down.
Dave Zott, who had been out for a few plays in the first half, called for that one. Hank, even rubbing that ring didn't help the Chiefs at all, did it?
No, nothing helps you win a football game except football players, and the football players playing extremely well. They had to go back in the pocket and pump one up here and try to get it downfield and get out of this area somehow, some way. They're not going to do it sticking it right at that strong defense of the New Orleans Saints.
Well, they'll play first down all over again. First and about 16. Out of the end zone, Bill Jones. And runs past Vince Buck to get to the 10-yard line. Atkins finally finished him off.
Here's DeBerg. And here again, this is what he likes to do, play action. They're trying to sell the run and do a good job of holding people. Gets enough room on the outside for Jones to make the catch. Defensive back did not wrap his arms around him. I couldn't tell who that was, and that's why he was able to run through him and make extra yardage on the play.
That was Buck he got away from for a moment. Second down and 8. Out of the eye. They fake it, now throw it to Jones again. He has the first down across the 20 to the 23-yard line. Back-to-back pass plays to Bill Jones. Sam Mills knocked him out of bounds.
Here it is, play action again. So he reaches the ball way out there, and he has plenty of time to throw the ball into the flat. He makes the catch and a good hit by Sam Mills from the inside linebacker position. He's all over the place.
First down for the Chiefs. Again out of the eye of Okoye. Grabbed by the legs first by Ricky Jackson. Buck made the tackle and a flag on the field.
Got to be holding on Kansas City, I would guess.
No, it's a face mask penalty against the Saints.
Oh. If you take a look at this, it looks like it might be Vince Buck, number 26. There it is. There he is. He's got the old gum grabber there.
Is that what that was?
Trying to get to the gums.
First down from now the 31. And the Chiefs at one time had been all the way back at the 2. 13:21 left in the third quarter. Saints lead 17-0. Okoye. Wayne Martin and Jim Wilkes combine on the tackle. It's the first kind of momentum we've seen at all today for the Chiefs. Gain of 4 for Okoye. They're playing Bill Jones now out of this formation as a lead blocker for Okoye. Bill Jones missed last week's opener. He was suspended from the game. He had a little run-in here in Kansas City and for leaving the scene of an accident, and the team suspended him for one game. Berg. Short gainer to Rob Thomas. Toy Cook on the coverage. They'll spot that one near the 40. Set up second and about 5.
That time, Jim, had they given the ball to the back, he'd have gone through there for a big gain. Look at this. Really, if you do a good job of faking, the back who was faking through the hole should be tackled. That time, it was not any kind of a play-action fake at all. It looked like they started, but he went right back in the pocket. But had he given the ball to the tailback, it'd have been a big gain.
Second and 5, play-action fake. And he's got a man open. Jonathan Hayes, look at him go! Inside of the 40 and down at the 38.
see the play. He goes back in the pocket again, faking a good fake, rolls out to the left. Look at all the time he's got to throw the ball. Look at the great vision, and that's what happens. Hayes covers up the ball very well, maintains his balance, and does a terrific job of getting extra yardage on the play.
Steve DeBerg told us, I have a lot of confidence in Hayes as a receiver, although not everyone in Kansas City, I'm talking about the fans, do. Good fake to Okoye. Now just throwing it away is DeBerg as the Saints came rushing in on him. Jim Wilkes forced DeBerg just to release it.
Watch the pressure right up the middle, number 94, Wilkes. Look at him coming through there. Gets the hands up and makes him throw the ball before he really wants to. Great job by Wilkes. Well, he's active. He's got some moves.
Lining up in the eye with Jones and Okoye on 2nd down and 10. Okoye inside the 35, down at the 33. Interesting 3rd down play coming up.
Well, that's what they do. You know, on 3rd down, they have so much confidence in the running game, they deceive you a little bit. You put the nickel package in there, and they're going to run the ball just like he did on the last play. That's their tendency. They play action a lot on 1st and 10 and 2nd down and short, and then on 3rd down, if they go on up with long yardage, they're going to run the ball.
3rd down and 5, shotgun time for Kansas City. McNair is the single back. DeBerg rifles it for the first at the 25. Emil Harry. Gain of 8, his 2nd catch of the game. And DeBerg now, as far as passing yardage, has just moved into 15th place all time in the NFL history, moving past Lynn Dawson, Hank. Moving past Lynn Dawson. He needed 64 yards going into the day. Now 28,700 yards plus for DeBerg, number 15 in NFL history.
The only difference about it is Lenny did it all right here.
Okoye to the 21-yard line. He's starting to get his yardage now, Hank.
Yeah, you know why? They're getting a little surge up front. And all he needs is a little crack. It's when he's running straight ahead. He has a hard time making that adjustment going sideways, but straight ahead he makes good moves.
Running behind, 2nd-year center Tim Grunhard from Notre Dame, David Lutz, the right guard, and Rich Baldinger, the right tackle. And Hayes, we've mentioned, is a good blocker, as well as an under-respected receiver. Barry Word, the former Saint, picks up another 1st down at the 14. His first carry today, Barry Word, the NFL Comeback Player of the Year in 1990 when he rushed for over 1,000 yards.
Watch the center now. Watch the center. Watch the block he makes coming off the ball. Well, it's kind of a block. It's kind of a hold, too. It looks like he tackled it around the ankles.
12th play of the drive for the Chiefs coming up. And it's Word to the 10. Sam Mills hit him first.
Well, what they've done here, Jim, they've recaptured their personality. This is what they like to do, and they came in out in the 2nd half and decided that's what they were going to do, along with some good passing that they did. But they got control of the line of scrimmage right now.
Second and 7. Word is the tailback out of the eye. Football comes to Word. Down to the 5, about a yard short of the first. Buffalo piling it on Pittsburgh. Jim Kelly has thrown 4 touchdown passes
That surprised me. They're a pretty good defensive team.
The Saints defensive coordinator, Steve Sidwell, his defense now bending for the first time today. 3rd and a yard to go. And a whistle on the field.
Timeout number 1 for New Orleans.
The Saints defense calls a timeout with 6:58 left in the 3rd quarter. With the Chiefs facing 3rd and 1 at the New Orleans 5. Why did Steve Sidwell's defense call the timeout?
I think probably they just, they've been getting pushed around pretty much on this drive, and I think probably they felt they wanted to regroup, get a little blow, get a little rest, get organized again, and get in there and dig in there tough and play good on this short yardage situation and keep them from getting 6 points. They get 3 out of this, it'll be fine. 7 is going to be tough.
2 tight ends in the game for the Chiefs. Okoye will not get it. Ricky Jackson was in on him in the backfield, and Okoye managed maybe to get back to the line of scrimmage is all. The crowd is unhappy because Nick Lowry has come onto the field. The Chiefs will go for the field goal, but Hank, I think that's a good move. You got to get some points on the board now.
Oh, as tough as it's been, and when you get an opportunity to get in the scoring area, you got to pump it up there and get 3.
And you're 3 scores down anyway, and this will get you within a couple of touchdowns.
Well, as I mentioned earlier, they're 2.5 plays out of this game. This will get half of the thing back.
This is your half a play right here, huh?
That's it.
All right, Nick Lowry attempted only 1 kick last week, missed a 51-yarder, snapping a 21 success streak. This is a chippy for Nick, and he drills it from 23 yards. So the Chiefs are on the board, settling for 3 after the big play by the Saints defense on 3rd and a yard as Ricky Jackson came up, made the hit, helping out. There he is. 3 for the Chiefs. The Saints lead by 2 touchdowns. 6:02 remaining 3rd quarter. The Chiefs kept the football for 8:58. Saints have yet to touch it in the second half. In fact, that was more time of possession on that drive for the Chiefs than they had in the entire first half, Hank.
Some people would be concerned about just getting 3 points,
right.
But the big thing, the Chiefs have to feel good about the fact that they established the line of scrimmage. They did what they like to do, move the football, stick it at you, and as a result, they're going to feel good about that and feel now they finally got over the hump and maybe will be able to do that again. That's probably what their mentality is right now, even though they just got 3.
The breeze is blowing the ball off the tee, and Lowry will try it again without any help.
And Lowry, interesting enough, wears a size 10 shoe on the left foot and a size 9 on the right. He wants the shoe to be nice and snug and tight.
That'll do it, won't it?
I would think so. Squeeze the blood right out of it.
And Lowry booms it away. Finnerty from the goal line, coming out with it. Down at the 13, and a flag on the run back. I believe an illegal block against Ricky Jackson. Todd McNair with the tackle of Finnerty. That'll take the Saints back inside of their own 10.
Holding during the run back. Number 37 of the receivers. Half the distance to the goal. No first down.
That was called against Benny Thompson. And the Saints now touch the football for the first time in the second half with 5:54 to go in the 3rd quarter, starting the drive from their 6.
And the worst thing, they got to be careful now. They really got to protect the football. They can't make a mistake down in this area and let Kansas City play in a short field.
Hebert almost intercepted. Kevin Porter. And there was not a Saints receiver anywhere close to that one, Hank.
He had somebody in his face and got a hit right about the time he threw the ball. He threw that ball to get rid of it before he would have gotten a sack.
Well, daringly, the Saints come out passing out of the end zone on first down. Sally Amua was in there on Hebert,
And there were two guys blocking Sally Amua.
Second down and 10. Hayward.
It's like trying to go through a thrashing machine on that last play. Nobody blocked anybody on it. They got off the ball good. Kansas City did.
There's an old pal, Hank.
Yeah, Tony DePardo, 79 years old. He wears a number on his age on his back of his shirt.
3rd and 9. This crowd now in a frenzy. Three down for the Saints. Thomas jumped. Eric Martin caught it out of bounds. Did not get the foot down, but I believe it's going to be offsides against.
I think you're right, Jim. I think somebody on the right side looked like Thomas.
Thomas anxious to rush Hebert, and he jumped.
Offside, number 58 on the defense, still 3rd down.
J.C. Pearson is down this time. He is again playing today in place of Pro Bowler Albert Lewis, who was put on the inactive list with a knee injury. So Lewis out for 1 week. Now his backup is hurting. We'll be right back. J.C. Pearson being helped to the sideline. He'll be replaced by Stan Petrie. An unusual injury here, Hank. Check it out.
Yeah, you talk about crazy things happening. Look at the player going the other way. It looked like there was a right here. He got a kick there. It looked like on the ankle, and that was what created the problem. He's holding on to the receiver to break the fall.
And Albert Lewis did not dress today, inactive for the game. Bruised knee in last week's victory over the Falcons. Now the pressure is on Stan Petrie. Saints face 3rd and 4 with a 17-3 lead. 4:53 left in the 3rd quarter.
Look at all the room they got over on that right side.
Hebert is sacked at the 6. Sacked by Neil Smith.
Pressure from the left side. Man in motion. Looks like he's got plenty of time, but there he comes. Stan Butts is beaten on the play by Smith, number 90. He's having a great afternoon.
Tommy Barnhart in the back of the end zone. Again, the Chiefs know how to block punts. Whoa. Jones. Oh, he let it bounce right past him. Retrieves it at the 34. And is jarred out of bounds at the 41. Now the Saints will be happy with that exchange. 61-yard punt and an 8-yard return. Jim Nance along with the coach Hank Stram. The Saints lead it 17-3. The Saints own the first half. Now each team has had possession of the football once in the second half. The Saints lost 5 yards on their possession, while the Chiefs drove 88 yards for a field goal. First down for Kansas City from its 41.
We might see a play action right here.
He sticks it in the belly of Okoye, who gets to the 44-yard line. Next week, on CBS, we'll have regional coverage. Many will see the Giants and the Bears from Soldier Field. That Giants defense will try to do a number again on the Bears, just as they did last year in the playoffs when they held them without a touchdown, beat the Chicago Bears 31-3 on their way to the Super Bowl victory. Of course, it all gets started at 12:30 Eastern Time with the NFL Today. 2nd down and 7. Okoye. Well, they force him to run sideways that time, and maybe a yard is all. He's a north-south runner, Hank.
Yes, he is, and that was a trap, meaning that the left guard pulled on the play to trap it. But see what happens. He wasn't able to make the cut. Watch this now. So he takes a stutter step. What? See, he tries to break it outside. He'd have been a lot better to make a little move and then go back inside the pile and get as much yardage out of the play he possibly could.
Toy Cook made a good hit on him on that play. Now it's 3rd down and 6 to go for Kansas City with 2:49 left in the 3rd quarter. 3 receivers to the left from the gun. DeBerg with time and hits his man for the first. It's Thomas. A gain of 10 into the Saints territory at the 44.
I tell you, he hung in the pocket tough that time. He got good pressure on the outside talking about DeBerg. He didn't pay any attention to it whatsoever. He stayed in the pocket, stepped up a little, took a step, and whistled the ball right to Thomas for the first down. Watch DeBerg in the pocket. Look at Jackson rushing on the outside. Look at him step up into the pocket and got rid of the ball perfectly to Thomas for the first down.
From the eye, Word is the tailback. They fake to Word. DeBerg going to the sideline and in and out of the hands of Rob Thomas, who had just made the completion for the first on the previous play. This is a young man DeBerg is very high on, Hank.
Yeah, he likes him very much. He thinks he's going to be a terrific receiver for the Kansas City Chiefs. A good move guy, and he thinks probably would be the most dependable guy as he goes along.
They call Rob Thomas Popcorn.
He bounces his head up and down when he runs patterns.
That's how he gets the name. All right, DeBerg still looking for 100 yards. He's 1 shy. 2nd down and 10. Word will get the carry. Word looking good in the second half. He's getting action now in the 3rd quarter. Tim Grunhard, the center, helped clear the way for a gain of 7.
He was tackled by Brett Maxey.
This is a Saints defense that since the start of the '89 season, in other words, the past 33 games, they've only had 3 100-yard efforts against them. Brent Fullwood, Ernest Biner, and Steve Young. Can you believe it? The quarterback. And the Saints lost all 3 of those games. But in this one, they've neutralized Okoye. Word starting to get hot, however, and look at him here, pick up the first. Tripped by Sam Mills, but not until he gets to the 34. A new set of downs for the Chiefs.
That time they ran inside of Swilling. Swilling likes to rush the ball, rush the passer so much, especially when he's got some space with not a tight end on his side. He'll rush outside. They're just running right inside of him and making good yardage.
Word has 27 yards on 5 attempts. Okoye, 10 carries for 25 yards. Timeout called. And again, it's the Saints.
Number 2 for New Orleans. It'll be a 40-second timeout.
Boy, that leaves them with only 1 now in the second half. We're at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City for the Chiefs and the Saints. 2 teams that excel against the other conference. The Chiefs have won 7 in a row against the NFC, while the Saints have won 15 of their last 17 against AFC opponents. Jim Nance along with Hank Stram, and there Hank is a look at J.C. Pearson, foot injury. They're now saying it's questionable whether he'll return in this game.
Of all the ways to get hurt, too, isn't that incredible?
Just passing by your teammate and getting the feet locked. Do you like this action by the Saints, leaving them with only 1 timeout?
I think they have to worry about doing first things first, and they're concerned about stopping people right now. They have to stop them and keep them from getting a touchdown, and I think evidently they've taken a timeout to kind of get a little blow and get organized and get back in the game. They're getting pushed around a lot right now, just like they were a little while ago.
Final minute of the 3rd quarter. Play action to Word across the middle. Holohan in and out of the hands. Brett Maxey reached in there, maybe help knock it loose.
That time, had they given the ball to the fullback, he'd have gone right through there for a big gain. I think if you do a good job of play action faking, the back you're faking to should be tackled at the hole. Watch this. Look at, they fake, and he goes through there. Look at, nobody around him whatsoever. Had he had the ball, he'd have popped through there for a big gain.
Maxey made a nice play to knock that one away. 2nd down and 10. Going outside with Word, and down the line, the Saints defense stops him for no gain. Sam Mills put the first knock on Word.
Well, I tell you, he's hard to find. He's so short that you can't find him. All you see is the top of his helmet. Next thing you know, he's putting it in your belly. Sam Mills, 5'9½", and what a great story that has been.
And as you see, twice to the Pro Bowl. Again, cut by Schottenheimer. Well, actually, from the Cleveland staff when Marty was the defensive coordinator at Cleveland back in the early 80s. Here on 3rd down, DeBerg. Intended for Harry, who had not looked around.
Atkins covering on the play. Going back to Sam Mills, you know what really happened, as you mentioned it, Jim, Sam Rutigliano, who was the head coach at that time at Cleveland, called Carl Peterson, who was with the Stars, and he said, Carl, I got a guy here that we're going to cut. I don't think we should cut him, but they're going to cut him. He'd be a good player for you. You ought to take him. So Carl took him. George Perlis was the coach at that time. Perlis said, no, I don't want him because he's too short. Perlis went to Michigan State. Mora came in. Jim said exactly the same thing, but Vince Tobin was the line coach defensively, and he said he's terrific. Let's keep him. That's why he's here.
All working out for him for sure. Now, look at this, Hank. 4th down, and the Chiefs going for it on 4th and 10. Hold on a minute. Whistle the play dead.
It's an offside on the Chiefs, the left tackle.
Bad start. Number 76 on the offense before the ball was snapped. Still 4th down.
Right you are, Hank. John Alt. Now the Chiefs, had they attempted a field goal before that snap, would have had like a 51-yard attempt for Nick Lowry. They instead were going to go for it. Now, since they've been backed up 5 yards, they're going to go ahead and punt it away. And yes, it is into the breeze. Actually, the wind kind of swirling now.
Yeah, they'll try to kiss kind of a pooch ball up in the air, make him catch it, and hope that they wind up putting him in bad field position again.
Barker had 3 punts buried inside the 20 last week. Oh, this one really sailing high, but into the middle of the end zone. There is a flag on the field. There's a flag on the field, and it was thrown back in the area of Vince Buck, who was waiting for the return. The back judge spotted it from back there, calling it against the Saints. Now what do you do, Hank? They're going to bring the offense back out. It will not, of course, give Kansas City a first. It'll be 4th and 10 from the 34, and now again Schottenheimer will go for it on 4th and 10. Red Cashin explaining to DeBerg. And the Chiefs' offense is already on the field. Time has expired in the 3rd quarter. Now it's DeBerg heading over to join his teammates.
12 men on the field on the defense. The time ran out for the quarter. The offense has elected to extend the quarter by 1 down. It'll still be 4th down.
Mentioned the wind is swirling, and perhaps DeBerg feels that the wind now is with him. So on 4th and 10, the Chiefs will go for it and take the play here in the 3rd quarter in this direction, Hank.
Yeah, I think they feel they have to. They've got an opportunity. They've got good field position. They have to try to strike and make the play and get the first down.
The same decision that the Chiefs made to end the 1st quarter. They elected to take an extra play in the quarter. 4th and 10 from the Saints 34, down by 2 touchdowns. Critical play.
Well, they got a zone defense coming up, double zone on the outside. Something in the middle is going to be effective.
Yes, it is. touchdown at the 20.
Lloyd DeBerg did a great job of reading the defense. They double cover the outside people, which made it the only place he can throw the ball is where he threw it.
Rob Thomas.
At the end of the third quarter.
Rob Thomas with the reception. The Chiefs are driving when we come back to join the fourth quarter. That's the end of the third with the score. New Orleans.
Thomas on the left side goes right down the seam. Mills is trying to cover on the play. There he fakes to the right and comes back to the left. A good move on the part of the quarterback. Mills takes a little whiff of the fake to the right side and comes back, and it's just a little bit too late.
You spotted the middle open. Now first down from the 20. DeBerg with pressure gets it away to Jones. Jones trying to fake out Maxey, but goes out of bounds at the 14. Swilling was applying the heat to DeBerg.
How DeBerg got rid of the ball like he did, I don't know. Watch the fake. Watch the fake, and then watch here. Watch from the backside. Look at Swilling and also Jackson. Both of them put him in the vice that time, but he still got rid of the football and made the reception.
Second down and 4. Word. Down to the 8. Jonathan Hayes, the tight end, gave him a great block, and it's first and goal for the Chiefs.
Jonathan Hayes, 6'5", 255. He's a loose tackle is what he is, playing tight end. He's a tremendous player and has improved his catching ability tremendously during his growth and development here at Kansas City.
Let's call it from the 7. First and goal for the Chiefs, trying to find the end zone for the first time today. Play action. DeBerg lofts it to the end zone. It's Hayes. Touchdown, Kansas City.
There's a nice play-action fake. It looked like he was going to hand it to him. And the tight end, Hayes, is wide open. Jonathan Hayes.
Well, he had made the big block on the play before to get him inside the 10. Now he catches the touchdown. Lowry adds the extra point, and the Chiefs are within 7. Jonathan Hayes with his 8th career touchdown. We'll be right back.
Sponsored by Budweiser.
Well, it's really been a game of two different halves. The first owned by the Saints, and now the Chiefs taking control in the second half. The Saints scored on 3 of their first 4 possessions, but in the second half, negative yardage for New Orleans. The Chiefs have amassed over 125. And a touchdown pass a moment ago to Jonathan Hayes. 17-10. Hank, how about this turnaround?
Well, I think a lot of it has to do with the emotional level. It's up quite a bit higher than it was in the first half for the Chiefs, plus the fact that New Orleans was in bad field position most of the time.
Win early. Oh, is he jarred near the 20? Tracy Simeon, hurt earlier in the game, comes in to make a thunderous blow. Now, talk about the fourth quarter. The Saints in 1990 let 4 fourth-quarter leads slip away to defeat the 49ers in their opener a year ago. And then the Falcons, Cowboys, and Steelers all came from behind to win in the fourth. The Saints maybe reversed that trend last week when they came from behind late to beat Seattle, but let's see how they react now.
Well, the sad thing about that, a lot of times you react to that situation and say, well, here we go again, and you'll wind up blowing another one in the fourth quarter if you're not careful.
Throwing on first down, wide open, is Floyd Turner. And he gets to the 35, giving him some room. A gain of 14 on that play.
A lot of room on the play. Look at the right side. Receiver on the left side coming straight down the field. Look at the big cushion by the defensive back. He anchors in the hole between the corner, the safety, and the linebacker. He's wide open, and they get a first down on the play.
Dalton Hilliard in the backfield. Martin on a wing to the left. Slot formation to the right. First down play. Smith coming on, and he knocks down Hebert. Did he fumble? Yes, he did. Kansas City football. Derek Thomas recovers.
They put some pressure on that quarterback in that last play.
Smith hit him, and number 58, Derek Thomas, smothered the football.
Smith again, what an afternoon he's having. He jarred the ball loose. Thomas falls on the ball, and of course, Saints have great field position again on this drive. And all it was just a four-man rush.
The Saints' first turnover. And the Chiefs are now about 20.
On the field, the play is ruled as a fumble. The play is being reviewed.
Well, they're going to review this one first, Hank. A monumental decision on the outcome of this game forthcoming.
They got to make sure that the ground didn't cause the fumble. I couldn't see exactly what took place. We'll take a look at it again.
Following a review by the replay official, the play stands. First down.
Al Lepore is the replay official, an old buddy of yours, Hank.
Yeah, and he's one of the best in the business, too. He's very decisive and does a great job.
Kansas City, 28 yards from tying the game with a touchdown and an extra point. Okoye to the 24. 12 minutes, 37 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter.
You know, he had to be impressed with both teams talking to the players yesterday. They certainly both exude a lot of confidence in what their team can do and what their future is in the National Football League in 1991. You had to be impressed with that yesterday.
DeBerg fumbles the snap, picks it up, and dumps it over in the direction of Bill Jones. Just lucky to get away with an incompletion on that play. In fact, DeBerg with some nifty ball handling here just to make sure that he recovered it.
Bad snap between the center and the quarterback. It looked like DeBerg got it, but he lost it in the pocket trying to put it away. Had the foresight. There you see Swilling coming in and giving him a little shot, but he still got rid of the ball and avoided the sack.
He's had another active day, Pat Swilling. Third down, 7 from the 25. Four-receiver formation.
Here they come with a blitz. They got a one-on-one.
And intercepted by the rookie, Reggie Jones. He took the ball away from Burden. What a pickoff by Reggie Jones, his first NFL interception.
Fantastic play by Jones. Warren gets in the face. Look at this. He just takes it away. Fantastic play. And look at Warren, number 93, come into the face. Watch this right here. And he gives a good shot on DeBerg.
Wayne Martin in there on DeBerg as well. And the Saints have the football at their own 21. Still leading by 7, 17-10. Dalton Hilliard up the middle. Dino Hackett has a hold of him near the 25.
I tell you, both teams do a good job of trying to steal the ball. In this particular case, the Chiefs are really working very, very hard to pry it away for the ball carrier. They better make sure it's secured.
Watch Sidwell's reaction to the interception by Reggie Jones. Second down carry, very little room for Hilliard. Lonnie Martz makes the play. Lonnie Martz is another young man who grew up in the New Orleans area, number 51 on the Kansas City defense. He's in his second year from Tulane and attended St. Augustine High School in New Orleans. With Lonnie Martz, who is now taken out of the game and replaced by Chris Martin. 3rd and 5. Shotgun time. It's hard to hear the signals when you drop back 5 paces. Sack time for Derek Thomas. Thomas and Danny Saleaumua.
Watch the stunt now. Watch Saleaumua, 97. Watch what happens here. He goes to the inside, and here's Saleaumua coming from the outside. You see him? Here he is. A stunt. Very rarely can you do that unless you have outstanding speed and quickness. Saleaumua has that. He made a fantastic sack on the play.
A loss of 10. Barnhart will have to punt into the wind. Jones fields it at his 39. And able to inch his way into the Saints side of the field. Vincey Glenn brings him down at the New Orleans 48. 10:16 to go.
And by Budweiser, with that clean, crisp, cold taste, nothing beats a Bud.
First down for Kansas City from the Saints 48. 2 tight ends in the game. Word is the single setback. Word down to the 42. Holohan helped clear the way for him. Gain of about 6.
Houlihan really did a great job, played that same position for the Rams, but he makes a beautiful block out in front, provides running room on the inside.
Second down and 4. Clock running with 9:40 remaining. Word. And look at him fight, Hank. That's a first down for Kansas City. Goff and Von Johnson brought him down at the 37.
He's running with great purpose. He left New Orleans, and he wants to prove that his leaving there was a mistake. I think what a competitive situation that is, and he's running very, very hard. He mentioned that in the newspaper this week.
Well, he was a Saints number 3 draft pick in 1986. And then, of course, ran into some problems that have been well documented down New Orleans way. Set out a season and picked up as a free agent a year ago by the Chiefs. Finding new life in Kansas City. First down. They fake to Word. Here comes the blitz. The Bird just gets it away. Swilling coming in on him. Frank Warren was right behind. Jim Kelly now with 5 touchdown passes in that game against Pittsburgh. And Bill Belichick on his way perhaps to his first victory for the Browns. A shutout right now in the 4th quarter. Here it's 2nd and 10 for the Chiefs from the Saints 38. Word is stuck by Swilling. What a play. It was like no one touched him, Hank, dropping him for a loss at the 43.
That's exactly what happened. Nobody did touch him. Watch Swilling. Look at this. He's on the outside shoulder of the offensive tackle. The tackle goes right down the line, and he has no chance whatsoever, the ball carrier in this particular case, to make anything happen. Swilling, a great play.
Swilling had his first NFL touchdown last week as he ran back a pickoff against the Seahawks for a score. Now it's 3rd and 14. Shotgun for the Chiefs. Middle time, incomplete, into double coverage. trying to hit Harry, Emil Harry. You know, I'll tell you what, he got hit from both sides, Hank.
You talk about getting stuck in the vise. He got it from both sides that time, and they turned the handle.
That is now back-to-back possessions for the Chiefs in the Saints side of the field and coming away empty. An interception by Reggie Jones, and now they'll turn it over on downs. Well, they'll have to punt away, I should say.
Look at that hit.
Vincey Glenn and Sam Mills. Parker bouncing it. Oh, they say into the end zone. It's a touchback. The Chiefs down there trying to lobby for it going out of bounds inside of the 1. But they'll bring it out to the 20. Saints football when we come back.
The assassin out there playing.
Yeah, like a Terminator. He's so tough. He's something else. That'll be a good match coming up next on CBS. Saints have it, first down. 8 minutes to go in the game. Hayward cutting for about 8, zigzagging up the middle.
Last 5 possessions, Jim, Saints, 4 punts and 1 fumble.
Well, they've had only 1 first down in this half, while the Chiefs managed only 1 in the first half.
I tell you that they did a great job, though, defensively, talking about the Saints. With good field position by the Kansas City Chiefs, they stopped them, did a great job.
Saints 17, Kansas City 10. 7:25 remaining. Second down and 2. 2 tight ends in for New Orleans. Hayward will get the first. A punishing run to the 36 before Porter stopped him. 12-year veteran Stan Brock, number 67. Watch him, Hank.
Nice block. Look at the angle that he gets. Gets a good push, good shove. Still working, still working. Prevented the defensive lineman from getting a good arm tackle on Hayward. You're not going to knock him down with just an arm tackle, especially one arm. Great block by Stan Brock.
First and 10. Hayward sees defenders right away, and he's dropped for a 2-yard loss. Derek Thomas in there, along with Deron Cherry.
There again, that's a nice illustration of what quick feet Hayward has. He was going straight ahead, jumped to the outside, tried to get out. There was no place to go. The linebacker was right there in his face, never had a chance to make a play.
Thomas was right there. He's made, as always, to see him some big plays today, Derek Thomas. Second down and 12. Hilliard is back in the backfield. Hebert comes up short on his pass to Floyd Turner. That stops the clock with 5:36 remaining in the game. The Saints that far away from having their first ever 2-0 start.
I tell you, the coaches, both coaches did a
12 men on the field.
terrific stop.
Second out.
Terrific job of getting these teams ready. The Saints, however, I thought from a coaching standpoint, made the right adjustments coming in here, had a great plan organized for this game against Kansas City.
Well, 12 men on the field for the Kansas City defense. The Saints will pick up 5 and replay second down. It'll be 2nd and 7. You remember the 2-yard loss on first down. 2nd and 7. Hilliard. Oh, this time Chris Martin meets him at the line of scrimmage.
Too slow getting there. There was a counter tray again with the left guard, the left tackle pulling on the play. And Martin came across the line of scrimmage, got there first, and stuffed the play.
74,800 cheering for the Chiefs defense to hold on third down to give the football back for a chance to tie. It's 3rd and 7. The Saints lead by 7. Hebert, man is open, and they rule it incomplete. Incomplete intended for Quinn Early.
I couldn't tell what happened to Hebert on that play. He just threw a bad ball, that's all.
I think he also realized that Derek Thomas was coming in on him, and you see the ball touch the ground, denying the completion to Early, who came up with it in his hands, but it did at one time touch the turf. So back to punt Tommy Barnhart. Jones will return it. Short punt. Jones fields it at the 24. Good hit. Stuck by Vince Buck at the 26-yard line. 4:35 remaining now in the game. Kansas City 74 yards from tying it. Jim Nantz along with Hank Stram from Arrowhead Stadium. Two teams that opened with victories in week 1. Saints trying to get to their best start ever. Meanwhile, Marty Schottenheimer, in his great career, Schottenheimer has never started with 2 wins, 2-0.
Yeah, he talked about that yesterday and said that he would like to get off to a better start than he has in the past. They've won 4 of 7 games, 4 wins, 3 losses. They want to improve on that early in the season. They don't have to worry about the end of the season because they do very, very well, but they haven't done well up front.
5 of the 6 years he's been the head coach in the National Football League with Cleveland and with Kansas City. His teams have started 4-3. That's Vincey Glenn now getting some help on the field. Schottenheimer actually made some changes in their preparation and training camp and everything to try to get the Chiefs squad off to a better start this year, Hank.
Yes, he did. He didn't work them as hard, changed the menu a little bit, changed the work habits, even changed the preseason games. They only played probably about half of the time in preseason, but that was all done with a specific purpose, that is to eliminate that bad start, only winning 4 of 7 games.
This summer, Schottenheimer qualified as a licensed pilot. He got his license in July. He had started taking flying lessons in 1988, and right now, with this little time left in the game, he's going to have to go airbound to try to pull out this game.
He certainly has to, is right. And this is not a team, here again, we talked about a little bit with the personality of this club. The catch-up personality is not nearly as good as some of the teams who throw from the pocket consistently.
Vincey Glenn is helped to the sideline for the Saints. And now Steve DeBerg will try to take the Chiefs into a tie situation, maybe send this game to an extra period, to an overtime.
You talk about two teams playing hard, tough, aggressive football. Both teams have done that this afternoon. A great compliment to both teams and both coaching staffs.
First down for Kansas City from its 26. 4 receiver set. McNair is the back flanking DeBerg. Underneath they go to Harry, and he gets out to the 33. A gain of 7. Saints took 2 timeouts when they were on defense in the third quarter. The Chiefs with all of theirs remaining. 2nd and 3. Intended for Thomas. Gene Atkins on the coverage. Thomas bouncing around looking for a flag that does not exist. How about Atkins on the coverage here, Hank?
Very good. Number 28, Gene Atkins. Look at him dropping back. Left block. The ball's in the air. He waits. But he's right over him. That ball had to be thrown exactly right, precisely right. Atkins all over him like a piece of abalone on that last play.
3rd down and 3. That'll get you the first. Stephon Page at last. That will extend his receiving streak to 82 consecutive games. That's the Kansas City record. A gain of 10. They move the chains as we approach 3.5 minutes remaining. Saints lead by 7. From the pocket, McNair had it bounce in and out. Incomplete. McNair, one of 7 running backs on this Kansas City roster. They go only 2 deep at quarterback, Hank. It's DeBerg and Mark Vlasic.
Yeah, that's really a surprise, especially with this football team as good as it's supposed to be, and they feel it is. It's hard to understand why they would take the risk of possibly losing 2 quarterbacks in a game and then be out of business and perhaps lose a game. Doesn't make a lot of sense.
They have Mike Perez on their practice squad, but they only suit up Vlasic and DeBerg, who faces 2nd and 10 from his own 43. Interception. Sam Mills at the 45 and back to midfield. DeBerg with his 2nd interception of the day. A man who threw only 4 interceptions last year.
You talk about being at the right place at the right time. Went right back. That was his own defense. 6 defensive backs. Watch Mills, number 51. Look at him. He's dropping straight back, watching the quarterback. And he sees where he's throwing the ball, leaps high in the air, and makes the interception. What a great play by Sam Mills.
So the Saints have it from the 50 with 3:19 remaining. They give it to Ironhead. With a flag down, he gets a 4-yard gain to the 46. We'll back up New Orleans here. That's a shocking number of interceptions, even though it's only 2.
Holding during the run. Number 71 of the offense, still first down.
Especially when he only had 4 all last year.
In over 400 attempts.
Yes.
And since he was the starter, DeBerg, since he was named the starter here a couple of years ago, mid-'89, he had thrown only 1 interception at Arrowhead.
Well, that was the point we talked about early in the game. You know, a lot of people say, well, if they're going to repeat, he has to have another fantastic year. And that's always a questionable thing. How many great years can he have like that?
Makes it now 1st and 20 for the Saints after the penalty. Hayward rushes. Stacked up by the Kansas City defense, including Dino Hackett. 3 minutes left. And a timeout called by Kansas City.
Timeout number 1 for Kansas City. It'll be a 40-second timeout.
Again, Stephon Edberg and Jim Courier about to get the first set underway from Flushing Meadows, and we'll be joining that as soon as this one finishes. Edberg and Courier. Edberg straight sets yesterday over Lindell. Marty Schottenheimer has never beaten the New Orleans Saints. In fact, his first game as a head coach in the NFL was back in '84 when he was at Cleveland, and the Saints beat him. Spoiled his debut as an NFL head coach.
Yeah, beat him badly in New Orleans.
He's had 1 other game against the Saints. He lost that one too. But a man who has taken 5 of his 6 teams to the playoffs. This year they're thinking Super Bowl, not just the playoffs. But they trail in this one by 7. 2nd and 19. Here's a pass play to Early, and he is thrown down by Kevin Ross. But staying in bounds after the 6-yard gain. Clock is running.
Timeout number 2 for Kansas City. It'll be a 40-second timeout.
All right, so the Chiefs stop it, leaving them with 1 stop of the clock remaining. That interception, by the way, Hank, looking it up in the Saints statistics, that is the first career interception for Sam Mills. Hard to believe, isn't it?
Well, as we talked, you know, it really is hard to believe. But you talked about one that had to come at the right time. That was it.
Saints now report that Vincey Glenn bruised the knee, and should the Saints need him, he could still possibly play in this game. Each team with a timeout, 1 timeout left. 3rd and 13 for New Orleans. Hebert gets it away across the middle. Turner short at the first at the Kansas City 47.
I tell you, you talk about a great release by Hebert. There was a lot of pressure in his face. How he got
timeout number 3 for Kansas City. That's their last and final timeout. It'll be a 40-second timeout.
How he got rid of the ball, I don't know, but he did.
Moss was in on him, and now Kevin Ross is shaken up. A lot of players down today, Hank.
Well, a lot of big hitting. You talk about high-speed collision this afternoon. There was a lot of that this afternoon, I'll tell you that.
Hebert got it away, and it was a good catch on the other side by Turner.
Look at this. Look at the people in his face. Moss, 63, was right there. He got rid of the ball in spite of it and completed the pass.
Now the Chiefs, once they get the football, Hank, will not have any timeouts to operate with. 4th and 6. Tommy Barnhart will punt it. And again, we warn you, the Chiefs are the best in football at blocking punts. They set a record last year with 6 blocks. They do miss Albert Lewis, however, today, and he was their best at blocking punts. Good snap from Hilgenberg. Barnhart hits it high in the air. Fair catch called. Jones makes it at the 20.
Fair catch.
So 2:33 remaining in the game, and the Chiefs must drive 80 yards to tie it. Coming up, it was interesting at practice yesterday. Steve DeBerg brought one of those little small televisions with him to practice to watch some of the tennis. Said he was inspired by the effort of 39-year-old Jimmy Connors over the last 2 weeks. DeBerg at 37 now with a new 2-year contract in hand. Think it's a little satisfying for Jim Mora going against Carl Peterson today, Hank?
Well, I think the satisfying thing is if they win the game, that's the thing that's really satisfying. It doesn't make any difference who's across the street, Jim.
Yeah, that's
as long as you win.
That's what I meant, though. If he wins this game today, he had, of course, those great years with Carl Peterson as the GM over in the USFL. Now they're on opposite sides.
And Jim Finks, talking about Carl Peterson, Jim Finks has done a terrific job of putting this team together. He's very optimistic about this squad and thinks they have a great future, and it's justifiably so. But they've done outstanding work putting this New Orleans Saints team together.
Barking signals from the shotgun. McNair open across the middle, and he gets out to the 37. Here come the Chiefs. Saints defense must now make the plays to make Mora satisfied, as we talked about. That was a gain of 16. Quickly now, DeBerg again, same route. It's McNair pointing for the block ahead by Rob Thomas, and he gets to midfield. And we'll move right to the 2-minute mark. McNair just activated today as Mike Bell was waived. Makes back-to-back plays to pick up about 30, and the Chiefs are within range to do something. Now, with 2 minutes to go, the Saints leading by 7, but the Chiefs are threatening from midfield. First down for Kansas City, operating from the shotgun. DeBerg swings it out to the 44-yard line. Sam Mills makes the tackle. Again, it was Todd McNair. 3 straight pass plays to McNair coming out of the backfield. That one picked up 7, but the clock is running.
I can understand why they like him like they do.
DeBerg goes right back to him. McNair makes the catch. Toy Cook, though, takes him down short of the first. It'll be 3rd and less than a yard, Hank. Clock is running. Must be careful here not to just throw away a down. It's 3rd and a yard. DeBerg gets the first to Thomas inside the 30 and bang around and down at the 24.
Boy, what a shot that was.
1 minute to go. Saints 17, the Chiefs 10. That was an 18-yard completion. No timeouts to work with. DeBerg gets him set. Flings it back over to Burton. Short game that will use up some of the clock. Berg will just stop it as he grounds it. 30 seconds. 30 seconds to go. In this quarter, Kansas City twice has been in New Orleans territory, and once they had the punt, another time the Saints came up with the interception. In fact, 2 pickoffs in this quarter, one by Reggie Jones and one by Sam Mills. But the Chiefs have come right back. 30 seconds to go. This is a 3rd down play, incidentally. 4 receivers in the game.
They got room on the outside right.
DeBerg looking right.
There it is, boys.
Over to McNair. Stays in bounds. Bouncing around near the first down yardage at the 15. I don't know if they realize it, but this will be a 4th down play. This is a 4th down play, but the clock is running down, approaching 10 seconds. DeBerg gets the first to Thomas at the 10. They must move the chains. 4 seconds. 3. And time runs out on Kansas City. The Saints escape with a victory. The game is over. They went across the middle too many times. And for the first time in the 25-year history of the New Orleans Saints, the Saints have started a season with 2 victories.
I tell you, they did a fabulous job of coming in here and playing this Kansas City team like they did. They had a good plan. They executed well, didn't make any bad mistakes, and they deserved to win this game the way they played it here this afternoon, talking about the New Orleans Saints.
Well, they had such a huge first half, they were able to ride that to victory. The Saints 17, the Chiefs 10 at Kansas City. New Orleans is now 2-0. The Chiefs dropped to 1-1 on the year. That stops Kansas City's 7-game win streak against the NFC. Jim Mora continues his supremacy against the other conference. The Saints escape with a victory.
The results are in. Thompson's House and Deck Stain waterproofs better than even the leading brand's premium stain. Because only Thompson Stain contains Thompson's Water Seal. It waterproofs and beautifies in one easy step. Thompson Stain. Seal water out, seal color in.
Aspen Cologne for men. A compelling new experience for women. Aspen, now.